One of the most highly anticipated films for 2017 has now gotten an official trailer for Star Wars Episode 8 The Last Jedi, in which there is so much to talk about. And again, if you guys have not checked out Star Wars Episode 8 The Last Jedi's trailer, I'm going to go on ahead and leave a link down in the description for you guys to go on ahead and be mesmerized as to the movie that will be coming this December. Now, the first thing I do want to talk about is the pivotal action that occurred in Star Wars Episode 8's trailer. Now we get to see how Poe Dameron is back, Finn is seen recovering in the rejuvenation chamber, we see how finally Rey has training received from none other than Luke Skywalker, as we have a pivotal scene of Rey using the lightsaber on the same island in which she found Luke Skywalker on, and of course the return of the ominous Kylo Ren, bearing the scar on his face, still wielding the same lightsaber as he had in The Force Awakens. And we also get to see another interesting scene as we see Kylo Ren's mask on the floor broken, very similar to Vader's mask in The Force Awakens, as we saw a burned variation of that, as we saw Vader's mask in The Force Awakens burned and dismembered, similar to Kylo Ren's mask in The Last Jedi. As we see his mask on the floor, it is crushed into multiple pieces, and a very important line said at the very end by none other than Luke Skywalker himself, saying that the Jedi must end. So this is important because this movie could signify one of two things. Either A major death in one of our heroes is bound to happen, or B, there is indeed going to be a final Jedi remaining, possibly being Rey, as Rey is being trained into using the Force much better than how she did in The Force Awakens. Now again, this is also going to be a speculation video going into Star Wars Episode 8, so in case your comments differ than mine, if you guys have your own opinions to add, go on ahead and post your comments down below. And after looking at and reviewing the trailer multiple times, it's as clear as day that there is going to be a pivotal battle occurring as the One's First Order looks to get their revenge on the Resistance, and we get to see this massive battle occur involving the Resistance and of course Princess Leia having to be shown during the time when Luke Skywalker told Rey to breathe and asking her what she sees, and in which she replies by saying, "I see the light," in which we do see Carrie Fisher's character, rest in peace Carrie Fisher, for being a wonderful and phenomenal actress. We get to see her there, and it looks like she's monitoring the overall status of the Resistance, as we get to see later on when Rey is talking about the dark, in which gives us a very interesting shot of Kylo Ren's mask. And we also get to see the Millennium Falcon being chased by TIE fighters, and we also get to see small ships flying low, going headfirst into an AT-AT, which again is phenomenal to see the AT-ATs return. But despite everything having to be shown, Luke Skywalker is the main important part of this trailer, as I do believe the plot of the movie is going to involve Luke Skywalker coming to the realization that the original Jedi's teaching was actually wrong and drifted too much towards the light during the Old Republic era generations ago, in which I do also think that Luke Skywalker is planning on erasing that teaching, for the Jedi's teaching is either wrong, and having to go back even to when Palpatine assumed that the Jedi were going to be no more, and having to look back on that one specific scene when Palpatine said at last the Jedi will be no more. It looks like that prophecy, so to say, will be coming into fruition, as Luke Skywalker himself towards the end of the trailer said the Jedi must be no more. Now, does this mean that Luke wants the Jedi Order to end because he feels like he is a failure due to Ben, also known as Kylo Ren, turning on over to the dark side and killing all of his students? Or did Luke come to the realization that as long as the Jedi are alive, there is going to be tragedies that are going to occur, very similar to how Kylo Ren, aka Ben, had turned on over to the dark side and killing students? Does this mean the original ways of the Jedi were lost long ago? And having to see that Rey will train in using the Force in different ways, you can only assume as to what Kylo Ren is doing, because Supreme Leader Snoke was not shown in this trailer. I think that's a good move, because since Supreme Leader Snoke is the main antagonist aside from Kylo Ren in the new Star Wars trilogy, keeping him away for the time being is a good thing, because Supreme Leader Snoke will be involved in the film, and you will see Supreme Leader Snoke in the flesh according to all the spoilers in Star Wars Episode 8. Now, there could be a confrontation between Luke Skywalker and Supreme Leader Snoke, but despite everything having to be shown or said, in my opinion, having to look at the title of The Last Jedi, I think that Luke is probably going to die in this movie, leaving Rey as the last Jedi, since he does take her under his wing to train her, and when he says it's time for the Jedi to end, that probably means that since Luke does have a lot of faith in Rey, his time as being the last known Jedi will come to an end. It needs to come to an end, thus passing the torch to the younger generation. So that's just my assumption on that. But when Luke speaks about the last of the Jedi's time to end must come about, we have to take some things into consideration. Is he talking about himself? What could this possibly mean? For me as a fan, I would definitely like to see Luke Skywalker go to Mustafar, where Darth Vader's palace is, and having a one-on-one confrontation either against Kylo Ren or Supreme Leader Snoke, since I do think that Mustafar would be awesome to be having to be included in Star Wars Episode 8. But I think one of the most important parts of this trailer is having to look at Luke Skywalker observe Rey and using the lightsaber and actually training herself into using the ways of the Force. And as oddly enough as this sounds, there was another scene shown as Rey is running through the night with her lightsaber on, as we then cut to Kylo Ren, and in the background we see this massive fire, we see this all-out space battle. Star Wars Episode 8, in my opinion, is going to exceed the expectations of The Force Awakens, especially having to look at the gravity of the situation. We see how there is some sort of, you know, depressed and sad tone to Mark Hamill's character, to Luke Skywalker. So indeed, this might be the very last time we will see Luke Skywalker in action or even involved in a Star Wars film. The possibilities of him dying are there, but as of right now, we're gonna have to wait and see until December comes about when the movie drops. Post your comments down below, guys. What are your overall expectations for Rey's training? What are your overall expectations for Kylo Ren? What do you guys expect to happen in the film? And what are your overall thoughts on the trailer itself? Thank you all for watching. If you guys are Star Wars fans, don't forget to subscribe for more news, information, and updates. If you guys cannot wait for this film to drop, go ahead and leave a like down below. Tune back in for more. May the Force be with you, and I'll be seeing you all down in the comment section below. Take it easy, guys. Peace.